All right. Hello, everyone. This is JCBIY Events, and I am your host, Valencia M. And I'm joined by.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I am Jordina of Chosen Career Consultants. Welcome. We're super excited.
Hello, I'm Yvette, the co-host today, and so excited to be here.
Yes. So today we have our special guest, Wardell Nance, and he
Hello.
is the founder, CEO of East Coast Kings, and we want to get a little bit of information about you, Wardell, and your organization. So go ahead, we'll give you the floor.
Well, as y'all know, Miss Mack introduced me. My name is Wardell Nance. I'm a resident of Chester, been a resident for years. Um, Started this organization because of certain things that happened in the city, and we decided that um, coming together as men, we will have a better chance to reach these children, and teach them a better way of life and help them to understand that there's more to life than just picking up a gun or spitting some violence and creating problems for yourself so you can advance in life. And that's what this new organization is about, trying to mentor and help the younger generation.
Nice. How did you come up with the name East Coast Kings?
Well, East Coast Kings, well, it came, I want to be so honest as possible. It came from my wife, Slay. Everybody knows Slay. It came from her. She had started an organization called East Coast Queens. And she kept on me, kept getting on me, kept getting on me, saying, babe, well, you need to find you some kings and get with them and see what y'all could come up with, because without the men leading, we can't get out there. And I understood that, and I sat back and I started thinking. It took me a while to contemplate whether to put this together or not, because it's so many not like-minded people who seem that like if you going for something positive, they want to downgrade you. So I wanted to find people that was like-minded like me, that wanted to change Chester, or help change Chester, or help reach somebody's child, such as my own children. Because sometimes we can't even talk to our own children. Sometimes somebody else, they listen to somebody else more than they listen to you, because that's how I go. Because they looking at you. Oh, that's my parent. He just telling me that.
That's true.
But you know what? That's huge. First of all, you have three Black women sitting here, and so it is super important. All of us understand the importance of Black men in our community and having the ability to lead. And so, what it is that this organization is about is so needed. I guess the question becomes, how do you reach these young men? How do you reach the community? You talked about starting within your own household. And so how do you start there and then build out?
See, when I say starting your own household, because some of us grew up in single parent homes. You feel what I'm saying? Where the father was around for a short period of time, and then he just bounced out, and then he never looked back. And that's our organization. That's where we're trying to come in and show people that there are some positive men out here who are entrepreneurs, who are willing to help make a change and help these Black women who are in these struggling situations with these young men. Because I'm not going to take nothing from a woman, because a woman raised me. You feel what I'm saying? And she taught me how to be a mom. But these days and times, you need two-parent household, because the woman is out trying to generate the money and get the money for it. And sometimes her 15-year-old child who is out coming home from school get in with the wrong crowd and stuff like that, and she hasn't have the time. So that's where our organization come in effect, where you can send your child or come to us and say, well, can you help me teach my son chess, or teach my son this, or teach my son that. Yeah, that's what our organization is about, giving them a helping hand and helping them to learn and stay guided in a path where they can succeed in life.
Basically mentorship, being able to mentor these young men. And so I guess the question in terms of mentorship always becomes, what type of backgrounds are the men who are mentoring these young kings coming from as well? How do they relate to, like you mentioned, you were raised by a single mom. Okay. So how does that mentorship work, and how do you guys make that connection to get them from where they're at to a better place?
Okay, well, we're all, like I said, I'm a perfect resident of Chester who grew up in Chester, and everybody that I deal with, they resided in Chester, and they know, such as John Carr, Charles Brakely, who is with Feel Good Talk, and JB Mack, who is the Stream King with the Fire Sticks. So we all have aspects of life that we're doing, in the aspects of life that we can show these kids, such as myself. I'm a landscaper, not only a landscaper, I'm out here trying to stop the violence with Mothers and Fathers No More Tears, which is an accordance co-founded with my wife. So, it's just a never ending process. With our mentorship, what we're trying to do is just let these kids understand that there is a better place to go. There is somebody that you can turn to when you don't have nobody to talk to.
Well, can I ask you a question? I want to know, say me, I'm a parent. How would I go and look you up, like, to see if it would be even somebody I want to mentor my child? Like, do you have anything online stating that my name is Wardell Nance and I did this, and then you had a kid? Like, how would I get in touch with you?
Okay, right now we're in the process of still putting things together, right? Such as our website, stuff like that. We're coming up with it slow by slow because, like I said, the COVID has came around and it's slowing little things down. So we can't get out there in the community and say, hey, here we are, because they're not letting us gather. We can't have little things that we had planned. Like John Carr, who is my vice president, and also he basically my secretary and everything. So he's like, he wants to put things together and get it out there. But like I said, the COVID has slowed us down so bad that we can't gather around these kids. And, some parents, they kind of scared of this disease. So they not letting their kids come around certain people, adults and stuff like that. But we are working. But soon as this COVID is over, you will hear a whole lot about how to get in touch with us, how you can look us up and everything. Because like I said, it's just a slow process.
So you're still, this is still the beginning stages of, getting the organization together, and you haven't fully launched things yet.
Yeah, we fully haven't launched things yet, but we did have a launching party in Dover, Delaware, that we had. And at that time, I was in a community where I seen where little kids were just running around doing whatever they wanted to do, and I got out there and I started talking to them, and and slowly but surely I told John Carr, I told Charles Brakely, they all came down, they seen what was going on, and they said, well, let's start outward and go in. So that's what we're trying to do, start outward going in. But as I said, the COVID hit, wow, and that stopped everything because we had a lot of things planned, even for Chester.
Why would you want to take on something like this? I mean, this is a huge undertaking. And anytime you mentor, you are also under a microscope, right? Because the people that you mentor, and they're going to watch you. They're going to watch your actions. Right. They're going to call you out on stuff. They are absolutely going to follow your lead. And so when you become a mentor, you are kind of setting yourself up to have to not just talk the talk, right? But walk the walk as well.
Right,
so why would you even want to take on something like this? I mean, that's a huge undertaking. Why would you want to take on something like this?
Because why I want to take on something like this is because, like I said, I'm from Chester, and if you know Wardell Nance, like some people do, the old Wardell, I was one of them kids who didn't want to listen or didn't want to get into the in crowd or be on the outside, always fighting because I was angry because I didn't know certain things that happened in my life. So, and I created a lot of trouble in the city. So, when I went to jail and came home, I wanted to change. I wanted to change myself. So, and by certain things happening in my life, such as my son getting shot, not once, but twice in the city. Then I lost a niece. And then now I lost another niece, and not a couple months ago down at the waterfront, and it just plagued me to say, Dad, what's going on with our young men? Why are they so violent? Why are they so angry? And I thought and reverted back to myself. Why I was so angry? Why was I? And it took me an inward look on myself. So I know that it's going to be a microscope on me. They have people watching what I do and stuff like that. I understand that, but I'm not God. I'm a human being. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to do something that somebody don't like or whatever. But in the same token, you shouldn't look at that. You should look at what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to accomplish now.
I love that. I mean, listen, we all fall short in a whole lot of categories, and so I think it's important, even in mentorship. I don't think you have the ability to mentor people unless you can be authentically yourself, to say, here's who I was, here's where I was at, here's where I'm at now, and here's where I even still want to go. Right. So it's like, I'm still a work in progress. I mean, I just had this conversation with one of my loved ones where it's like, well, I'm working on it. It's like, we're all working on it. We're all working on it every day. It's just being able to be honest about that, and then fighting to be better. I mean, and that's the reality, and that's what you're trying to help these young kings. So like I said, as a Black female, we need strong men in order to be able to lead. And so it sounds like a great organization. Do you have an age group that you're specifically trying to work with, or?
Well, we still talking and works with talking to Raul, who runs Biddy League. So we start.
Wardell,
we can't hear you.
Wardell, you muted by accident.
Calling through.
There you go. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're looking for Raul?
You said you were working.
Yeah, well, Raul is my cousin, so we're family. So I know where he been at, where he's going at, and he has a pretty good hook into Biddy League. So we was thinking about starting right there with the younger kids who are already trying to become basketball stars or whatever. Even we try to come up with this program. We're trying to come up with this program called boxing for kids, where we train kids with conflict resolution, stuff like that. Because boxing is a good way of resolving conflict, because you're not going to go up against somebody that that's bigger than you. And you're going to step back and say, oh, well, I think I can, or I think I can't. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why we're trying to put these programs in effect. But like I said, COVID slowed us down a little bit. It pushed us back. And John Carr, he's a good event planner. So, we got some things that's going to happen right after this COVID. Once they clear us with this COVID, we had some things that we setting up, such as a block party on the waterfront. We got another program that we try to set up, which is called Be a Father campaign, where the fathers come together and step up and start realizing that we created this problem with our kids by not being there and leaving them out there to fend for themselves. So it's a big program that we really all are interested in, being a father campaign to the children, because without the fathers there is no mother, and without the mother there is no children. So how that go. So and we just want to come and enjoy and give back to our community and our communities too.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It really does, and it's needed. It is really needed. Yeah. So, are you willing to work with the women also?
Oh, we willing to work with everyone. We got Slay who is right here by my side, who always say, come on, babe. Call John, let him know how you feeling today, and let him know where you're going at and what you want to do. So yeah, we willing to work with all women, all men, women, children, Korean. It doesn't matter. We trying to reach everybody, because like I said, it ain't all about Black people all the time. It's about everybody, because it takes a village. It takes a village to raise the children. And that saying went out a long time ago, when we lost our grandmother with that sat in the crib with the overcoat and the curlers in her hair and stuff, and sat there and be like, boy, don't you? and you just know, don't you do that, you know what I mean? So yeah, them times are gone. So now we got to really start stepping up as men and as women.
Mhm.
And start policing our children and start putting them in places where they can be productive in life instead of just setting them in front of the TV or on the phone where they can see all this violence and all this stuff. You know, I just talked to my nephews like maybe about 3 months ago, and we were sitting down, we were talking, and I didn't even know my wife was recording, and I was asking them certain questions about how the violence feel on their life and how it's impacting them, and the answers they gave me, it just made me feel sad as a Black man to say, you know what, man, I can't turn my back on them. I can't. So I have to keep moving forward and push harder each day.
They need it.
Well, and I love that you talked about starting young, right? I think we so often are reactive to problems. You know, we wait until they've already gone down a path, a negative
Right.
path. Whereas if we start at a younger age instilling, you know, resources, instilling conflict resolution, instilling the importance of education and learning a skill, and you know, if you start young with that, then you know it's easier to kind of teach them up, right? You know, instead of having to react, we have an ability to start at a young age and give them a foundation that can stop them from going down that path, or at least makes them think, you know what, nah, this isn't the way that I want to go. Like, I know that there's a better way. And I think a lot of times that's the problem. We don't see what the alternative route is. And when you start young, it's so much easier that way, for sure.
Yeah, we believe that you know, if you reach them and you teach them at a young age, you know, you can reach them faster because they'll stick up underneath you. I learned that from my granddaughter, you know, by her being, every time she come over here, you know, she wants to be up underneath of me. So if I'm teaching her positive reinforcement, then she really want to stick up underneath me. So if we could teach this outside in our community, positive reinforcement, then these children will stick up underneath us. I know they will.
Set an example. We set an example when we don't even know we're setting examples. People watch,
exactly.
Like she's watching your action. She's up underneath you. So
yeah.
So my question is this, because you were talking about programs that, you know, like using sports, you know, for some of the kids, because it's an outlet for them. But what about some of the ones that that don't like sports, who aren't good at sports? Like, are you gonna have something for them too?
Let me tell you, I cover all bases. When I chose people that are head up in this organization, I chose people with a foundation. You feel what I'm saying? Like John Carr, who was vice president, he is a vocal coach. So those who want to sing and stuff like that, he can teach them stuff like that. Charles Brickley, who works for Delmarva, he could teach them about electricity and stuff like that. Not only that, he has a podcast, so he a DJ. So you know, we wear many hats in this organization, so we have many avenues to go down to reach these children who like music, who listen to rap all day and want to be rappers. Well, we got a vocal coach to teach you how to really shape that, and instead of the negative, look at the positive. And like I said, we got a few other people who are on the outside working in. You know, we had Jamal Dobson, who is a positive rapper from the city of Chester, who has children of his own, who is willing to teach children how to become film directors and stuff like that, how to make music videos and stuff like that. So I chose my team well. You feel what I'm saying? I just didn't go out and just pick somebody and say, "Oh, come on along." No, you had to have some type of sustenance to give back to our youth that they're really going to be interested in. Like I said, I'm a landscaper, and I found out that every time I turn my blower on, I got 10 kids behind me asking me, saying, "Yo, let me blow." So you know what I mean? So I'm willing to teach them that. You feel what I'm saying? Because that leads them into entrepreneurship of having their own business and working for their own money, that they don't have to work for somebody. They can make it themselves.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
That is awesome.
Good.
Oh,
Well, I listen, the organization, obviously you have lofty goals. It sounds like you have really begun putting people in place that are going to be able to help you execute on those, get out into the community and really start talking to the children. And I would encourage you that even though COVID has hit, this is a generation that lives on their devices, that they live on their phones.
Social
Yeah.
media is it.
So get on social media, start that. You can do virtual events like we're sitting here talking to you in a different location. You guys can do virtual events on different things. And so, don't let this pandemic, and I think that's kind of been what all of us have been, really fighting for this year.
Yeah.
Don't let the pandemic stop you from
Mhm.
just continuing to execute on a mission that is so important to this generation and to the generation that they're going to raise. And so I just would encourage
Yes.
you, go and find you a social media administrator. There's a
I
website.
think I'm looking at one already.
No,
I think I'm looking at
no.
one.
Don't be trying to give me another job.
Do I have any takers? Do
Don't
I
try
have
to.
any takers?
I will give you, there's a website where you can actually get yourself a social media administrator. And so it's somebody that will be able to help you. Like I said, in this pandemic, there's so many people that have just, they've had to find ways to earn income. And so it's a really cool website where you can hire people by the day, the hour, and I hate to call it cheap labor, but these are people that are offering their services at definitely a reduced amount. So I think it'd be great for you. Like this, you have an opportunity to capture these children while they are maybe slowed down a little bit and in the house
Right,
on these
right.
devices. So if you could build on that, when the weather breaks and the summer gets out, then we down the waterfront. But start now.
Hey, I'm glad. See, I didn't know nothing about that. See, and that's what networking does, And I'm glad that you send that information to me, so I can definitely send it to John, so we can definitely take a overlook of it and get right on top of it,
Absolutely.
And because we've been planning, and it seems like every time we get a good time to really showcase and come out and say, here we are. Now I hear the government putting restrictions on something. So, we going to definitely find a way to get out there. Like I said, we dotting our I's, we crossing our T's. We want to make sure that our organization is going to stand firm, even when I'm going, and even when John and everybody is going, that the people that we selected and the women that we put in place, that it's going to keep going on and on and on, and it's going to be very strong. Because, like I said, it's hard for us as Black men to really sit back and stop downgrading each other and really look up and say, hey, come together and let's show our youth it's better. It's a better way than killing each other.
Yeah.
Now, will the activities and different things that you have in your mind planned for the children, would that be free to the children, or would the parents have to pay?
Everything will always be free to the children.
Okay.
Everything will always be free. As soon as we cross our I's, dot our T's, we'll be looking we'll put up a website for donations, stuff like that. And like, we really want to, that's why it's been so secretive, because we really want to come out and be like a strong force. When we come out, we're going to be stepping on some toes. And I know we are, but hey, like Ludacris said, move, get out the way. You know what I mean?
I asked that question because some of the standing programs that are for children, a lot of the low income parents, they can't afford it. Not nothing against Bitty League or anything like that, but even those programs, you have to have a certain amount of money to have your children's little uniforms or whatever, and some people can't afford that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? They really can't afford. So it forces the mothers to not have stuff for their children. You know what I mean, to do, because she can't afford. She probably got 10 kids anyway, and she can't afford that.
Well, that's not what our program about. See, because like I come from a low income family.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And I know how hard it was for my mom to send me on a trip.
Right.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? A school trip. So I want everything when you send your kids to us, you don't have to worry about paying nothing. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, I want to have a place where like my nephew is going to set up this he's going to set up a community center when he finished doing what he's doing for Lionscape films. And he's going to set up this place where the children could come, and that's where we'll be based at. We'll be based out of there, where it's a community center where your kids could come, sit down, do their homework, get help with their homework, stuff like that. If they don't understand certain things that's going on in their life, there's somebody there to coach them and help them get through. Because when we was younger, we didn't have social media like everybody has social media as outlet. See, we have to revert back to the old times. Sometimes we got to take them phones away from the children and say, look, listen, come on in this room. Let me show you such and such and such. You know what I mean? Instead of YouTubing it all the time. Hands-on experience is better than, just showing somebody on YouTube.
Well, listen, you have 3 people here who are going to share some additional resources with you for grant writing. I mean, you need to get funding for grant, and you can have a grant writer help you get grant money for that. There's means to be able to sponsor children for different things. And so that the mission and what you have is so important that, there's just additional resources that you can seek out truthfully to just continue to bring this to a true reality. I mean, everything that you're talking about is so important and so needed. And so, we want our youth to believe in themselves. And by having organizations like East Coast Kings, that's going to have them to understand and start looking at themselves in a positive light instead of always a negative light.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and that's for sure. That's for sure. Because like I said, we suffer from a lot of things. Like we put our own selves in predicaments where we're away from our kids for so long that when we come back in their lives, that they don't want to take direction no more. They already going in the direction that they're going. So we want to try to put a stop to all that stuff. So
choices.
A better
Teach
plan,
them about them choices. They got
plan.
choices to make. Yes.
Yeah.
They have choices to make.
Yeah, a better way, a better plan.
Yes.
And that's the main thing. A better way, a better plan. And that's what we coming up on. A better way, a better plan. That's going to be our motto. A better way, a better plan.
I like it. A better way, a better plan.
A better plan.
Well, we appreciate you coming and sharing with us today.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, I appreciate being here. I really do. And when John told me that this interview was coming up, I was sitting back saying to myself, what am I going to really talk about? No, you know what? I got this. It's always from the heart. It's never scripted. It's never nothing. This is how I feel. And I want to make a change in my community and my home and my surrounding homes. If I can, I can. If I can't, I can't. You're not going to reach everybody, but just reach one. That one might reach 2. That 2 might reach 5. So, it all starts. It's all baby steps. You got to crawl before you walk. You ain't come out the womb walking. So, you got to crawl. You got to learn how to crawl, turn over and all that stuff. So, and that's what East Coast Kings is doing. We're crawling before we walk. We don't want to go out there too soon. And then you hear about us, and then next thing you know, you turn around. Like Beth said, she got children. She be looking for a place, and she's like, well, I heard about East Coast Kings. Well, they was over here. What happened? They going. Right. We don't want to be like that. We want to be here for the long term.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to speak positivity into your mission and into East Coast Kings, a better way, a better plan. And so we're going to encourage you to just get out there and start making a difference. You just said it, if you help one child, that is such a huge start. And so you'll continue to build and continue to grow, and that level of consistency will get there. So We support you.
Yeah.
These queens
Thank
here
you.
support East
Yes,
Coast
we
East Coast
absolutely
Kings,
support
and
you.
Yes.
we
It's needed
encourage
in
you
our
and your
community.
mission. Yes,
Mhm.
it's so needed. So we
Mhm.
encourage you to just continue to build on your mission. And when you get more things and more events, please let us know. We'll have you come back on the show, and
Oh,
we can
definitely,
showcase for
definitely,
sure
definitely,
what you guys are doing in the community.
Yes.
definitely, definitely.
All right.
We will definitely be around. We'll definitely be around. But for in the meantime, if you really want to get in contact with me to talk to your children, you can hit me up on Facebook, or you could call me through Growing Together Lawn Care. My information is out there. My business is on there
Just say
on
it to us.
Facebook.
Say it to us.
Say it
And we'll
slow.
post
Say it
it.
slow. So
We'll-
what was
we'll
the name of
also
that
post
landscape
it.
as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah.
What was it?
Growing Together Lawn Care.
Growing
It-
Together
Together
Lawn
Lawn
Care.
Care.
Yeah,
Okay.
Growing Together Lawn Care. So you can reach me through there, or you can hit me on Facebook.
What's
And
your number?
Even in this,
What's your number?
or you can call me on my phone, 610-990-2242.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. We want to make sure
So-
people can contact
Yes.
you for your
Yeah.
services and for the organization. So, all
Yeah,
right.
please do.
Okay.
And don't forget about you can also contact me through Slate too. So don't forget
right.
about that too. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
she's
Okay.
All right.
out there, that's my better half. So she definitely go and push me to make sure that this becomes a reality instead of just an ideal.
Good.
That support.
All right.
We need
That's
that
a-
support.
yes,
That's
yes.
a good thing.
Gotta work
So,
together.
Yeah.
We
that
gotta
is
work
so
together.
important.
All right.
So thank
All
you
right. Well,
guys.
thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Wardell, for spending some time with us. And we can't wait to see what's up next for East Coast Kings.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, we coming. We
Yeah.
coming.
All right.
Come through. Come through.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, see y'all.